I was thinking about this irresistible invitation. I began to think about the theology behind that. Once that begins to sort of sink into the depths of our heart, it is my opinion that the only natural response is one of wanting to return the love. And so you begin to ask the question, how can I return love to God? This God who is all-knowing, ever-present, all-powerful, has everything, knows everything. But I think it's in the response where we really start living out that gift. And so finding a place to plug in, a place to connect with what God is doing in the world. And I happen to think the church is that place. It is how God has decided to win the world to His love.
At Gainesville First, I feel there are virtually unlimited opportunities for spiritual growth. I'm particularly pleased to be so involved in outreach because we also offer opportunities for our members to get involved in domestic outreach organizations as well as internationally.
We prepare usually a main meal, a vegetable, a fruit, dessert, and bread, and we'll go over to the Good News at noon where we'll serve from 70 to 100 people. It's a really rewarding ministry to work with and feed and educate the disadvantaged people in Gainesville.
There you go. All right. Shoulders, exhale up, 5.
You know, I love children, and I love to be engaged with them through the puppets, but I also love watching others experience that engagement. This church is diverse in its ages, and I yearn for some of our senior adults to understand their value with our children.
The children just love coming to church. It's amazing how much they just enjoy the play, and they really get the message through the loving people that work with them.
Well, if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I would be involved with children of elementary age, I would have thought you were crazy. But God has a way of changing things, and He has a sense of humor. What makes urban ministry such a special place to volunteer for me is that my family can be involved, and I want nothing more than for my kids to know Jesus Christ. And these kids have become my kids. And so I want nothing more than for them to know Jesus Christ.
The Wednesday night programming is really exciting. We get all the families together after work, and they have dinner, and then choir, and then our Wednesday night programming, while the adults get to go do their Bible studies and their nourishment. So it's a delightful time, and we end early enough to get home to bed on time too. So everybody enjoys it.
When I look at this church and I see its potential, I get pretty excited because it has such wonderful people, and the giftedness that God has given us is great. But with that, to whom much is given, much is required. And I get excited about what God is sort of posturing us to do.
It's extremely important that church members realize that the money they give go to help folks who sometimes are not able to help themselves. We want to help members at Gainesville First engage in the community and find a place where they can go out and express their faith and their beliefs through service to others.
One thing that I love about this church is that we get a lot of people that have an interest in teaching or in mentoring, and we are not stifled, and we're allowed to just flourish and grow here.
The gospel writer in Luke records Jesus' words as, "Give, and it shall be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." It's easy to give when times are abundant. It takes faith to give when times aren't. And while I think it may be a tough invitation at this point in time for us, It is an irresistible invitation. It's an exciting time to say, this, Lord, is what we believe. And by faith, we make this commitment for your work on this earth.